Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Thanks for your support on Patreon, Andy Datson's #1 fan, Tomo. Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Ollie Davis and today's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a brand new RPG game that has an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, and more than 400 champions for you to collect and personally customize. Wonder if I can put sexy leopard print jackets on any of them. It's just like having a classic RPG and strategy game on your phone. Take that, evil giant monster thingy! But don't just take my opinion for it. Look at its almost perfect score from hundreds of thousands of reviews on the Play Store. And Raid is expected to get a huge update this month, which will be great for new players, all for the price of zero money! Click our special links in the video description below to download the game to get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion to start your journey. And search Fakador Army in the game to join the WrestleTalk clan. Good luck, and I'll see you there. Ollie gets a tan segue. Sweet tan. Me. That's right, Ollie Davis is back in the third person on WrestleTalk after my holiday last week, where it seems it's just been business as usual over at WWE. What? Bray Wyatt actually debuted? Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion, and Baron Corbin hit a woman. Attitude Era. But this week has a far more important meaning than your humble host's groundbreaking return. It's CM Punk beat John Cena at Money in the Bank 2011 Day. So happy CM Punk beat John Cena at Money in the Bank 2011 Day, Swaff Nation. We need a more succinct name for yesterday marked 8 years since WWE's Money in the Bank 2011. One of the best pay-per-views in company history, seeing the emotional peak of the storyline that saved me from giving up on wrestling altogether. Late 2010 was a dark time, with WWE deep in John Cena beats everyone mode, his most recent victims being the entire Nexus, many of whom could have gone on to be major stars. But then the following year, Punk cut his infamous pipe bomb promo on Raw, which led to him brilliantly winning the WWE Championship from Cena and storyline leaving the company with it. Wait a second. It's 8 years since Punk won that title from Cena, an annually occurring anniversary which comes just a few days after WWE's Extreme Rules and AEW's Fight for the Fallen. It can only mean one thing: CM Punk return confirmed. Which is more than we can say for his storied rival, because anything Rock the Dwayne Johnson does, John Cena will do slightly less impressively, and 7 years later. The trailer for John's first leading role in a family comedy has been released. In film history terms, this is called the Kindergarten Cop phase, also the Tooth Fairy stage. Cena is the lead star in the Nickelodeon-produced movie Playing with Fire, about a crew of rugged firefighters who meet their match when attempting to rescue 3 rambunctious kids, which I'm guessing is not this Playing with Fire that comes up first on Google image search, as they're too old to be rambunctious kids, nor this cleavage-heavy film that's second, or this movie that's third, or this movie that's fourth that's actually just a different poster for the second cleavage movie. There's a lot of films called Playing with Fire, unless Cena's in all of them. And I just can't see him. Maybe to get around the confusion, they should just give them all sequential numbers, or call at least one Playing with Fire Tokyo Drift. Franchise titling segue! Because the first images have been released of Cena on the set of Fast and Furious 9. You know, the franchise that Rock the Dwayne Johnson has been a huge part of since the 5th movie, but then left to make his own spin-off team-up film with Jason Statham and Roman Reigns called Hobbs and Shaw that's out next month and will likely be the best movie of all time, and is rumored to have caused a real-life rift between the Dwayne and other franchise headliner Vin Diesel, so Diesel got in Cena to likely replace Johnson. I'm sure everything's totally cool between everyone there. You can't see John in the post celebrating Fast and Furious actor Michelle Rodriguez's birthday, nor can you see him in Vin Diesel's Instagram post captioned Day 16, grateful, blessed, and inspired, or another one of Ludacris hugging nothing but air in captioned look how he embraces and welcomes our new cast member John Cena. Grateful for both of them. So with Cena replacing the Dwayne in the movie franchise that made Johnson Hollywood's most money-making draw, could Rocky be going back the other way to WWE? Oddly, the hint has come from WWE's Sami Zayn of all places on Twitter. Bumped into The Rock today at the WWE Performance Center whilst getting care for my rickety shoulders and got to thank him personally for the retweet and support of the Sammy for Syria campaign to start a mobile clinic in Syria. Be cool, like The Rock. Retweet or support by donating. Of course, go and support Zayn's very noble charity Sammy for Syria, which raises money to provide medical services for refugees from the country by clicking the link in the video description below. Of course, we here at WrestleTalk were proud to donate $1,500 to with your super chat help from our WWE Super Showdown livestream the other month. But that tweet reveals two other interesting bits of news. Firstly, that Sammy is getting treatment for his ongoing shoulder issues, which he first injured on his main roster debut match against John Cena in 2015. And secondly, that the Dwayne was at WWE's Performance Center this week. There are a few possible explanations for this. The Rock's daughter, Simone Johnson, occasionally trains there, so he could have been visiting her. Or he could have just found himself in town while promoting his Fast and Furious spin-off movie Hobbs and Shaw that's going to be the best movie ever made, that's out next month. So he popped in to say hi. I mean, it couldn't possibly be anything more. It's not like WWE have a huge Raw reunion show planned for next Monday, bringing back the company's biggest legends of the past. The Dwayne to AEW the Dwayne to WWE confirmed. The Raw reunion special will take place in Florida, The Rock's home state, next week, which has already announced a load of major stars like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, DX, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, Kurt Angle, Ric Flair, Mick Foley, Sid Vicious, The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and more! If the Dwayne was planned to appear on the show, you'd expect WWE to announce it along with those names to pop an even bigger rating. Or they might think they've got enough star power already, especially with Steve Austin, so they could keep Rocky as a surprise. Johnson hasn't appeared on WWE TV since WrestleMania 32 in 2016, where he set a sign of his own name on fire with a flamethrower and then won a WrestleMania match against Eric Rowan. It was a weird 15 minutes. Dave Meltzer reported on Wrestling Observer Radio earlier this week, though, that the Dwayne would not be appearing on the reunion show. But that was before Sammy's tweet revealing Johnson had been at the Performance Center. Rocky featuring on the special would potentially be a great idea for both sides. WWE would get the biggest movie star in the world on Raw, and the Dwayne could promote Hobbs and Shaw, which is due to be released the following week, which also stars his cousin, current WWE main eventer, Roman Reigns. Most interestingly, perhaps, is how the Performance Center ties into all this. If that's the case, with Rocky potentially practicing taking a few bumps if he's to be involved in an angle. All speculation, but a very real possibility, given WWE's desperation for ratings and Johnson not having long left if he ever wanted one last in-ring match. And he's only got one movie in pre-production at the moment with an actual release date, which is a significantly lighter schedule than the last few years, where he's been starring in every movie ever made. So it's either WWE in-ring return, running for President of the United States, or hopefully both. WrestleMania 38 headlined by The Rock versus an increasingly fractured and confusing political world. Wrestling. Apparently, though, the Raw reunion wasn't even WWE's idea. It was a concept pushed by the people even Vince McMahon answers to. Dave Meltzer has revealed on Wrestling Observer Radio that the Raw reunion concept was actually pushed by the TV station WWE airs on, the USA Network. It's yet another example of the network pushing creative changes on WWE TV, where they originally wanted to end the brand split following WrestleMania 35 to give both Raw and SmackDown more star power and hopefully improve their ratings. Vince McMahon resisted and instead compromised with the wild card rule, allowing just 4 superstars from each brand to appear on their opposite show, to then pretty much just drop the brand split several weeks later anyway. You're on SmackDown, Roman Reigns! You're supposed to be on SmackDown! The original plan for a WWE reunion show, where the big names of Austin, DX, etc. were going to return for a one-off TV special, was supposed to be for SmackDown Live, which will be celebrating 20 years since its first weekly episode aired all the way back on August 26, 1999 on p.m. There's no word yet on whether the Raw reunion show being on Monday means the SmackDown version will be scrapped, or whether WWE might reuse the concept for the first episode scheduled to air on Fox on Friday the 4th of October. Either way, a Rock appearance on that show named after one of his catchphrases would be a high probability. The reunion special is just the latest idea to be literally chucked at the Raw wall this year, following the wildcard rule and Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff being announced as the executive directors for Raw and SmackDown respectively. And somehow, it's actually beginning to show some results, with Raw increasing 100,000 viewers this week to 2.45 million for its post-Extreme Rules show, and Tuesday's SmackDown doing even better, drawing 2.12 million viewers, up 15% from last week's disaster rating, and making it the most watched SmackDown since the Superstar Shakeup special on April 16th. But that could all be about to change, because after weeks of reports, it looks like one man will finally be saying, "I'm back!" This week's post-Extreme Rules episode of SmackDown started a new series of storylines based around those who've been passed over by the recent reign of the Omnichain. Seemingly sparked by Kevin Owens' work shoot promo, Liv Morgan got a match with Charlotte and teased the gimmick change, Ali potentially set himself up to challenge Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental title, and Buddy Murphy actually appeared on TV. Sure, it was part of the Omnichain, but at least he was on TV. My glass is half full, Steve here. While not the most exciting episode to watch, it built foundations for SummerSlam, and all that could be undone in just a few weeks' time. Because despite reports that Eric Bischoff would be taking control of SmackDown's direction post-Extreme Rules, it seems he only actually started in the office the day after this week's SmackDown, the 17th of July. Bischoff himself has been posting pictures of his family moving from Wyoming to Stamford to be closer to his new job at WWE headquarters, which PW Insider and Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso have confirmed is now underway. Today is Eric Bischoff's first day in office for his new role as executive director. And then Bischoff himself told AfterBuzz TV on Tuesday, "I'm actually watching SmackDown as we speak. I'm boning up, doing my research, getting familiar, but just got back from the dinner and I'm going into the office tomorrow, kind of getting orientated to starting the process and kicking around Monday and Tuesday next week." So while Bischoff has now moved to Stamford and is working in the WWE office, he's not going to get properly underway until next week. The perfect time to cut off all those storylines that started on Tuesday and begin a big motorbike faction invasion storyline. Watch Luke Owen's review of Spider-Man Far From Home by clicking the Screen Stalker video on the right, and make sure to download Raid Shadow Legends using our links below to get 50,000 silver and a free Epic Champion, all for free. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.